So you guys saw the Adonis Creed skin came out in the shop the other day, and I was just playing a solo with the new skin when in the pregame lobby I ran into another player who had also picked up the outfit. And of course, since the skin's a boxer, I thought it'd be cool to have like a fake boxing fight with another player with emotes like Shadow Boxer, and so I tried to get along with this guy. But this man was just so caught up in his own ego because he was just too busy flexing his crowd that he had won from his previous game. So when I tried to be friendly and he just completely rejected me, I realized that this guy was going to be a bigger threat than I thought. So I landed on the island and pretty much spent the entire game looting up. And then I just started doing a bunch of trading emotes because I knew there was no way around my encounter with this guy and I knew I would have to prepare. And so I then had a training montage of my own, lifting weights, running, and also drinking shields. I had a ton of close calls, but thankfully I managed to survive thanks to some other people. Nah, but that was when in the distance I spotted this fight going on with the last few players left, and I was almost positive that was the exact same guy from the pregame lobby. And so then I sprinted into the next zone, but then there was just one player left. And so as I scrambled, this guy just tried to box me up, but I made a last minute attempt to try and be friendly. And sure enough, he understood, and it turns out that it was the exact same player from the pregame lobby. Finally, he gave me a hug and even offered his crown, and that was when I challenged him to a fight. But of course, as a boxer, I wanted to do it with no guns, and surprisingly, he agreed, and so that's when we began the boxing match that would decide who was the better Creed skin. I managed to get a pretty good combo on this guy though, and it felt like all my trading was paying off. I was pretty far ahead of him and confident of it, but then he got this massive combo on me, and so I was just beginning to be a little worried. I then went in for the final blows, but I ended up dying and he had 6 health left, so I honestly just had to give it to him in the end. After our exhibition though, I invited him to my party, but unfortunately this guy didn't have a mic. But the moral of the story is that if you find someone out to be toxic, don't judge a book by its cover.